Hello, this is Ruth Bruner, and I'm with the Windsor-Severance Historic Society Oral History Project, and I have the pleasure today of interviewing Tom Morey again, but this time we're going to talk about the Windsor Train Depot that will be celebrating its 50-year movement to the new spot by the museum. And his son Doug will also give us the Boy Scout perspective of things that happened. So would you go ahead and introduce yourself? And if you want to tell us your age, you can.
Okay. I'm Tom Morey, and I was born here in Windsor, almost on the spot where we were taking the camera.
Okay, we're here at Morey's Glass in your business. And you want to say how old you are?
I didn't hear you.
How old you are?
92.
92. And sharp as you can be. So you were telling us a little bit about how when you grew up here, the rail yard ran right beside, across on Main Street, and things that you did. Can you tell us a little of those stories with unloading the train or things that came in and shipments you saw?
Yeah. Well, every once in a while I got to know the guys on the train, the engineers, because they back forth, because they filled water right over there into the steam engine just right along the track, you know. So you go over and watch and that, and then he'd let me ride in the caboose sometimes. Oh. Well, I have to be truthful. One day he says, "We're too busy, Tom, I can't give you a ride." So when he backed down that siding, I went over and threw the switch halfway. Could have derailed the train, you know. But the engineer guy caught it, and he hollered at my dad. He says, "Your boy just switched this." I got a whipping. Well, good whipping.
Got a whipping. Oops, that's all right. Yeah. Well,
but got to know the conductor and the engineer and all those guys when I was a little kid, because they stopped here a lot and unloaded sheep and cattle over there, and the elevator. Yeah.
In our location, we're at 124 Main Street, so people who are watching this can figure that out. But 2nd Street didn't run straight through because of the train.
No, never did. It never did.
Never did. And what did they all unload there? I know there was an elevator.
Yeah, there was a current elevator over on that side. Yeah.
Yeah. And the blacksmith shop right beside it.
Yeah, Manwellers had a glass shop with there.
Okay.
A different Manweller.
Manweller. So what kinds of things did you see unload, or did you get in trouble, and were you trusted again to unload things or not?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Not always.
Not always. Okay, I'm going to sit here beside you.
Because that'll keep running.
That'll keep running.
Okay.
You run that. Okay, so now I can talk into your good ear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you help unload from the train?
Well, the sheep mainly, and cattle didn't have to, but sheep you had to get one of them off so they lead itself off, you know, and drag it down. So you used to crawl in the car and grab a lamb and pull it back out, because it was double-decker and it was about that high, you know. It wasn't very room for sheep on there. And then the farmers, most days, farmers had a carload of sheep or a carload of cattle in the yard, so they used the stockyards a lot over there, loading food.
So there were stockyards this close? Where were the stockyards at?
Yeah, Napa.
Napa, where the
Napa whole area all the way down. Yeah.
Was all that behind?
It was all corrals and stuff, and we used it for a playground because you could run up and down the boards of it, and you couldn't touch the ground or you were it, you know. And you play tag or rubber gun or hide and seek, and it was a good playground.
Good playground. Did you? If you were out, if you stepped in the
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
you didn't ever step in anything you shouldn't have. Like
over there, there probably was, but that's part of the deal. But most of the time it was empty. You know, only when a train comes is the only time they ever put cattle in there or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they left them there, and then Kern had a feedlot.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah. The things because.
Into 4th Street, kind of behind Tozer, didn't you have a feedlot there?
Yeah. Well, they came. How are we going to say? We used to come up the railroad track. Sometimes the wintergrass fed on the Great Western, and we had horses, and we used to ride the horses and bring the cattle up, and then load them on the train to go. And then that one time they went to Chicago, And Dave got a ride in a caboose with his cattle all the way back to Chicago, and that's where they processed them. For something different. They didn't go to Denver that day, that
They
one
didn't
time.
go to that
Yeah,
day.
it was different. Yeah.
So I know that they used to unload ice or, or not unload, but load ice to go from Windsor Lake. Did you ever help with loading
No, I never did see him do that. No,
Okay.
but they used to get ice off. Yeah. I know they did, but I never did get to, because it used to freeze a lot in those days. We ice skated in Thanksgiving,
Okay.
Yeah, no more.
So, tell me about the depot, when it was moved, because I know we're celebrating 50 years that it was moved to the museum.
I can't remember what year either, but Tucker was in on a deal so we could save it. He helped,
Okay.
And then when they put the semi up to the depot to pull it over, he got to drop the pin in to hook the truck on the train when he pulled it across over there. I remember that. Yeah, he was very good with us, help us get that depot to keep it. Yeah.
So it was Charlie Tucker's dad. What was his name?
Glenn.
Glenn Tucker.
Yeah,
And he
it
was the
Glenn.
station master,
Yeah,
right?
at that time, yeah. But over the years, we had several, really, yeah.
But he was the one that saved it. So
He was at the end of it, when they finally took out the rail, and he was the last one.
he was the last.
Yeah.
God. So, what was the inside of the depot like when they moved it, when you, as the Lions Club members went
Well,
over?
I can't remember the colors of everything, but it had a ticket window, and where he sat along the railroad track, he had a telegraph key, because he ran that a lot, in those days. In fact, you could go up and send a message there, telegraph in those days.
Okay.
And he'd do that for you, charge you so much money, but I don't know how much it was. And then there was some storage behind that, where stuff come in, so.
Did they live in the actual depot, or?
No, they never did live.
They never did,
No,
because I know
no.
that sometimes they were built so that you could live in those.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of names that are signed on the walls in there, but did you ever, on the storage part?
Well, I haven't been in there for quite a while. I think the last time I was there, what was it? I guess I was on the size,
Well, you're welcome anytime, Tom.
yeah.
You're
yeah.
welcome anytime.
Well, yeah, well, the thing
Private
is, everything
tour.
moved up to the town hall. Most of the time, everything's there now, so
Yeah.
go back again, yeah.
Well, I know they're gonna make an exhibit
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
50th
yeah, okay.
anniversary. So, tell me the story about, because I know the train used to ride and take you to Severance or to Greeley, is that right?
Well, not this one, that was Great Western.
Oh, Great Western
Railroad.
went to
Yeah,
Severance.
and this here was Burlington Northern.
Burlington Northern.
And they sold it to Great Western,
Okay.
yeah. Now it's all Great Western on this side,
Yeah. Do you remember what year that was, or how old you were?
It was pretty old when when the Great Western quit, when they stopped the sugar factory and stuff that helped get rid of it,
Yeah,
so,
in '69, but I didn't know it was Burlington before that,
Yeah,
so.
it was Burlington.
Okay, and what routes, because a lot of people used it to go to Greeley, just for,
Well, I think quite a few years in those days, because they had a bus too, that you could ride back and forth, but I think they used it quite a bit to go to Collins or Greeley, or both vice versa,
and you never got to ride it
I never
because
got to ride that train, yeah. Well,
you were telling me before we turned the camera on how
yeah.
your mother dressed you all up. and-
Yeah, because Mom was going to go to Greeley, and I was going to go with her, and then I got in a mud puddle out there, and she wouldn't take me.
She wouldn't take you.
Because we lived right here, so Dad just had to stay with Dad, Yeah.
Did you ever help with any other tasks when the train came in with
Oh, no, nothing else.
And they paid you a buck for unloading things?
Well, it was from the farmer for the sheep. No,
Oh,
it wasn't
the
the railroad.
farmer paid you.
Yeah, the farmer gave us that, yeah.
Okay. How many trains did you hear come through Windsor when you're,
Just one a day.
one a day?
Yeah, I'll go back and forth, yeah.
All
One
right.
day. Unless there's something special, like they brought prisoners in on that train one time for the prison camp.
Oh, wow.
I think they unloaded them at Bracewell and marched them up the hill to the prison camp.
Okay.
Yeah, but they came on there, because I remember that passenger train with those prisoners on. I remember seeing that in the 40s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So was there different types of trains or train cars on the back?
Well, it was
or-
mainly agriculture, beets,
Okay.
mainly beets, really, in those
Okay.
days, on there. But then the grain too, because of the elevators and that. But mainly that's what it was,
So I'm curious, what did the docks look like? How did they unload things? I mean, people don't often realize that.
Well, they had a big platform up there that was equal to the train, to the boxcars.
Okay.
And then they put a ramp across that to unload stuff out of there, And like I said, we got, Foster bought new Chevrolet cars, and I remember unloading 4 brand new Chevys up there one time. Up there, it was pretty neat. They just drove them out, because the first 2 they put in, and then they raised them up like that, and then put 2 underneath it, the cars. And then they brought the 2 out of the bottom and lowered down, and then the other 2 come out, yeah.
Wow.
Specially made.
Okay. Was there ever coal or anything on there, or coal?
Well,
for
the coal
heat?
for the sugar factory.
Oh, okay, they were in.
Yeah, there's
they
a
were
coal
in-
train to come through, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to go and pick up anything that spilled along the tracks, or no?
Well, some people did. The German people were conservative. If you dropped a beet up there off a truck, they picked that up and took it home, made syrup out of it. They do that, yeah.
Wow.
And those things, yeah.
Waste not, want not, huh? So, tell me when the Lions Club moved it, and that's where we're gonna get Doug in here too. Or it was the Civic Committee, right? That moved the depot in
Well, it
74,
was
75?
really a whole bunch when it got going.
Once it got going.
The firemen helped, and the Lions Club helped, and yeah, a lot of people really got involved in that, yeah. So, that's the one that did it.
So what do you think would have happened if we hadn't gotten everybody involved? I mean, Bob
Well-
Hogan came from Rochester, with Kodak, and he hadn't lived here that long. I mean, he'd lived here 4 or 5 years then, and
Yeah, Bob got involved in a lot of stuff. When he called up, he says, "This is Bob Hogan." I says, "What do you need?" Because
Yeah.
he's asking for for help for something like the gazebo in the park. He was in on that too, Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so tell me the process that Charlie, you probably know how Charlie's dad, Glenn, moved it. And then what did it look like inside the first time you walked inside the depot?
Well, it was just a big room with his telegraph stuff was in bay wet glass along the railroad track, and that was his office, and everything was right there. Yeah.
And-
Yeah, there was a waiting room for the people on the train.
Okay.
There was a waiting room, and a ticket's office. Yeah.
So what was the different people's jobs? And the fireman, there was one photo showing them
Well,
doing
he
the
was-
ceiling and,
Well, he was the only one there. There was nobody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the only one that ran the depot.
that ran the
Yeah,
depot.
yeah.
What did he use for a depot after this one was moved for the museum?
Well, they put up a little metal one that was there for a while. It's a long track, one room thing and the restroom in it, and that's all they had. Just real small. Do you remember that one? The metal one. Well, it was a.
We got pictures.
Yeah.
Let's hold it up and show it
Oh,
in
wait,
front of
I
the
lied.
camera.
Sorry, I didn't bring all of them.
Yeah.
I think it was yellow.
But these are the originals. Here's a picture of Glenn sitting at his desk in the depot.
Okay, let's hold it up so the camera can see,
Okay.
and then you can look at it. It might stir up some memories
Yeah.
for you. Oh, so that shows the ramp in the old one, and there's Glen
Yeah,
inside.
yeah, there's a ramp and all that stuff, yeah.
Okay. And then the car's parked on the backside
Yeah.
facing, it was kind
Yeah,
of behind
but-
Manweiler's or
That's
Memory
behind
Lane?
Manweiler's, yeah. And the drugstore and that, yeah.
All right. What a
They
great
they
photo.
don't have a picture of the new one, huh?
I didn't bring it with me, but I
Yeah,
do
you
have
saw it.
pictures of
Yeah,
the little metal
It was just a
one.
little metal, one-room metal building. That's all they needed. And now they do everything out of columns. Or, well, the Great Western's got an office out here now too to ship cars back and forth,
Ship
you
'em
know.
and do that.
But then for a while, it just done 4 columns. Then we didn't have a depot agents.
Did it ever stop those, could you still catch the train when you didn't have an agent?
Not that, those days, you know. And when it got down, when the Great Western closed and it got down to one train a month, brought a carload going to the elevator over in Carl's, and that's all. And I think that's why Burlington Northern sold it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there was another company before them. That wasn't the Burlington CF&I or something railroad was there, and then Burlington bought them out, and then they sold it to Great Western, and so it changed hands a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Doug, tell us a little bit, come on in so we can see.
I got to unload a truck.
You gotta unload a truck, okay. So, your brother was Gene Morey, right?
Right.
And what did Gene all do with,
Well, I don't remember.
with the Boy Scouts?
It's,
And,
yeah, just with the Boy Scouts part, as far as, but he never joined Lions Club.
yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
there, he just had his own stuff going, you know, so.
So I think we'll turn
Yeah.
off the camera while the truck unloads.
Yeah.
And, it's this button right here.
Oh, gosh.
I'm gonna have